Yes, I am Jared with Sierra Sewing, Quilting, and Vacuums, and I am going to show you guys a quick run through on two more entry models on the Baby Lock serger line. Now I have on the left here, I have the Baby Lock Celebrate, and on the right hand side I have the Baby Lock Victory. Now these are the first two entry-level machines that contain the notorious Baby Lock jet air threading. They're the first ones to make that jet air threading serger, and we'll get into that a little bit more as we go along. So on the left, like I talked about the Celebrate, and there's a couple different nuances between the Celebrate and the Victory, but there's a lot of things that are in common with these two machines as well too. Both of them, obviously, they not only look the same, but we have a 4-thread serger on both sides of these. So with that 4-thread, we can also do a 3-thread overlock and a 4-thread. With the 3-thread, we have the ability to do a narrow and a wide overlock stitch as well too. Both machines do have needle threaders built into them, and as we talked about down here, we do have that jet air threading for our looper system as well too. Both machines, obviously, we have the ability to lock our knives down or up, whether or not, depending what project we are doing. And we have the ability for cut width, as you see here, stitch length, and over on the side, a very easy to access differential feed as well too. So the goal of this is just kind of show you the differences between the two machines, and you can really decide what machine works best for you. So sergers are wonderful machines that are designed to both trim fabric edges and finish seams simultaneously. Whereas a sewing machine is only designed to create a seam, we have the ability to create that seam and finish the edge on a serger as well too. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, this is a great example of a non-garment construction that we can use for a serger, which is just the edge of a napkin here, which you can see as my video focuses, that we can get an actual finished edge on those sergers as well too. So we can cut and finish and have a completely done project right from the get-go. So as I said, while sergers are generally thought of as ideal for garment construction, knit fabrics, stretch fabrics, and professional seam finishing, they're wonderful machines to make many other projects with as well too, and also make them quicker. Think about a zipper bag, being able to construct that zipper bag and trim and cut and finish not only the fabric but your zipper as well, all at the same time, so you only have to do one pass. We also have classes on jelly roll quilts and so much more that you can do with a serger as well too. So it's not just for that garment construction person also. As we showed you here, we already talked about what a serger seam looks like. Then diving a little bit more into our jet air threading. Now, Baby Lock was the first one to bring this to market back in the 90s. And ever since, they have lost their patent, but they are still tried and true the best air threading that are out there as well too. Now, what that means is right down here, if you guys have any sergers at home that doesn't have jet air threading, you probably spend a lot of time threading that serger. If something ever breaks, you have to thread it in the right order, everything of the sort. With these machines, what I can do, any Baby Lock jet air threading, I can thread these loopers in a matter of, once you practice, I can have this serger up and threaded with the loopers within 20 seconds. That's pretty unheard of in any other non-air threaded serger. You're spending 5-10 minutes to get those up and threaded and running. So basically all it means here is all I have to do is click this button, and then as I rotate here, you may not be able to see it in the video, but here, that locks over into place to allow these loopers all to line up. And now all I have to do is choose upper looper with my switch or lower looper with my switch, put in just a small portion of that thread into this, use my pump right here, and it threads all the way through those loopers in a matter of seconds. Less than a second, honestly. So that is the beautiful revolutionary threading on these sergers that you have here on the Celebrate and the Victory. As we talked about, both machines have the ability to do a 4-thread overlock and a 3-thread overlock as well too. They both have the ability to do a rolled hem stitch, and these are the stitches that cover a majority of your garment construction needs, as well as any of those other quick and easy projects as well too. As we talked about, differential feed right here, easy to access on both machines. Just we have the ability to, if you guys are familiar with what a differential feed is, these machines have the ability to either squish my fabric, bunch it together, or they have the ability to stretch my fabric. So depending if I'm working on an elastic or if I am working with something that I want to have just that squished, why do I keep blanking on the word there? Gathered fabric. There we go. If I want to have that gathered fabric, I have the ability to do that just right here. And the way that those works on sergers, if you guys don't know, on our feed dogs, on sergers, we actually have 2 sets of feed dogs, whereas on your sewing machine, you only have the 1 set. So on sergers, to dive a little bit deeper here, we have a set of feed dogs on the front side of the needle, and then we have a separate set of feed dogs on the back side of the needle. So if I am running this machine at neutral, all of those machines are running at the same time. Those feed dogs are running the same distance at the same time. Whereas if I am trying to do a gather, the front feed dogs are going to be running a further distance and the back feed dogs are going to be running a lower distance. So allowing that fabric to gather. Vice versa, if I want to stretch it, the front feed dogs are going to run a shorter distance and the back feed dogs are going to run a further distance, allowing that fabric to actually stretch on the needle there. So that's the beauty of that differential feed on these sergers. And most sergers have those, but not all of them have them this easy to access on those machines. So with those differential feeds, it does a lot of great things, prevents a lot of puckering on your knit fabrics, lightweight fabrics, and allows super easy decorative lettuce edges to be gathered as well too. Speed and performance on both of these. Both machines run at 1,500 stitches per minute, so they're very, very fast. To give a comparison, most machines, sewing machines, run anywhere from 800 to about 1,000 stitches per minute on just regular sewing machines. So having a serger running at 1,500 stitches per minute, if you had to put that in perspective, think about those jelly roll race quilts that we all do. Imagine how much faster you would be if you were using a serger. That's literally 50% faster. So you would be the winner, that's for sure. They are, as we said, significantly faster than your sewing machines there, and it's beautiful because it gives you that finished edge at the same time instead of just making that seam. So you are making your projects so much faster with all of that ability. Main difference between the two machines though, this is where the Victory really starts to shine over the Celebrate. If you notice here on the Celebrate, we still have tension dials. On the Victory, I do not. And this is beautiful because Baby Lock has a patented portioning system built into my machine up here. Now these tension dials over here on the Celebrate work very similar to how your machine works, your regular sewing machine works, just basically how much pressure I have or how much tension I have on this dial is either going to give more pressure or less pressure on the constriction of my thread as it runs through the machine, giving me a tighter stitch or a looser stitch. Whereas over here on the Victory, with that portioning system, this is hands down the best portioning system on a serger that is on the market because we actually have 2 sets of tension discs, I guess you could say. They are called portioning discs inside of this unit that actually open up the back and open up the front to allow a very specific amount of thread out. Now this is wonderful because it doesn't matter, the machine doesn't care what you are sewing on. If you're sewing on a super fine silk or a very fine tulle or maybe 6 layers of denim, it doesn't matter because what this machine is actually doing is it is mechanically, not digitally, mechanically reading how much fabric you have under that foot. So it doesn't matter if it's a very fine silk because all that matters is the thickness of that fabric. And it also takes into account the stitch length, your cut width, as well as what stitch you are doing to portion out the exact amount of thread that you need to give it a perfect stitch every single time. Now the Celebrate, I don't have that. I will have to adjust my tensions, changing from different thicknesses to different types of fabric, stuff like that. So it's not nearly as nice as going into this Victory where you can almost sew absent-mindedly. So that's the beauty of this Victory, is getting that portioning system. And I will be honest, Victory is the bread and butter entry-level serger from the Baby Luck lineup. It is an amazing machine. So those are your main differences between the Celebrate and the Victory, and it is worth every penny to jump up from the Celebrate to that Victory as well too. Then in terms of the workspace, we have the same workspace area on both machines over here. No difference on the sizing, so very comparative in that sense. Victory is about the same weight, no difference on the weights. And then both machines come with a color-coded threading guide as well too. I call it the Bible. It comes with the machine, the Serger Bible comes with the machine. It tells you exactly where to thread this thread up to my tree, down through here, down through my loopers, in a very clear and concise and easy to read piece of paper. It's a very nice heavy cardstock paper that you can see on both sides, and very easy to run those machines on threading them. Both of them have adjustable presser foot pressure built into the top of my machine for different types of fabrics. Both have wonderful LED lighting for the sewing areas. And then both of these machines have a vertical knife positioning. Now on other machines, it actually cuts down as well too. On older machines, we would have this bar that came across and cut down, and it became problematic with heavier duty fabrics, thicker fabrics. That knife would actually deflect, and we would have a bad cut and thereby have a bad stitch as well too. So with both of these machines having that vertical knife position that's cutting down directly onto that fabric, it gives us a much better quality result as well too. So in final summary here, both of these machines are absolutely wonderful sergers. As we talked about, personally, I would spend every single penny that I could to jump up to that Victory, because it is worth every single penny that you will spend on it. But they're both wonderful sergers inside of that Baby Luck serger lineup. Of course, there are machines above them that do so much more, but as I said, they're really the bread and butter starting points of that Baby Luck lineup. So if you have any questions, our phone numbers are down at the bottom below there, and you can contact us in either Reno or Carson for any questions. And as always, click the link in the video here to go to our website and find out the best pricing on these machines as well too, and they can be shipped anywhere in the United States.